Hey, it's leg day. So sometimes I do leg day in the health club and I use machines. And to tell you the truth, I think I get a little more sore when I do it that way, but it's a little more convenient to do it at home. So here I am hitting the same muscle groups, but with different weight. I'm wearing the belt, not so much because this weight is just immense for me, but because my side is still a little bit sore, and it seems like when I wear the belt, it feels a little better. There you go, it's stiff-legged deadlifts. So these are really for hamstrings, at least that's where I feel them the most. The point is keep your legs fairly stiff. There is a slight bend to it. You can see when I get down towards the bottom that my legs bend a little bit, and that's okay. My back is straight, good form, I think, and hamstrings are stretched out. I definitely can feel it. So, and that's what I think you're supposed to be doing, is like really looking for that feeling of a stretched hamstring. See how that shoulder is like really good on my arm. Hey, I like that. But it has nothing to do with anything, just happens to be a little bit, I feel. Okay. So nothing really in the news is like all that exciting today. So I thought I might talk about my diet a little bit. So I went on a thing, I'm not sure what it was, but I did a test and found out that my daily maintenance was about 2,000 calories a day, maybe a little bit more than that. And because I still have a little bit of a belly that I'd like to lose without losing much muscle, actually I'd like to lose no muscle, try to cut like 100 or 200 calories off of that. So currently my goal is about 2,100 calories, and then I try to get 1 gram of protein for every gram of lean body mass. So say that my goal is to get to about 180 pounds. I think that's where I'd be if I was totally lean. So I need about 180 grams of protein. In order to do that, what I do is I prep my meals by I cook up a bunch of, well, this week it's beef. I bought a whole cow, and so I made a big bunch of stew, and I have 2 roasts and some vegetables, mainly potatoes and carrots and onions, and I scoop that pretty much full, and it's very meaty. I don't put any, I put as little of the broth as possible. But I eat that a couple times a day. Plus I have like whatever else my wife makes for dinner, and usually a protein drink or 2, depending on how I'm doing for my protein at the end of the day. So see my back, how it's nice and straight. That's how your back should be. See how my butt kind of goes backwards. That's what is going to have to happen too in order for you to have good form. The bar should go straight up and down, and the only thing that should move as far as off the center would be really your butt and your shoulders. Alright, so time to get over to the real work. This is my low bar squat, and right now I'm just doing I'm just doing a warm-up set with no weight, and you'll see that I'm dropping down and holding it. Yep. Holding it. There we go. Holding it. And pop back up. It basically, essentially turns my squat into a bit of a deadlift, stopping until there's no momentum at all, no bounce in the hips, nothing. What can you say? I'm wearing wrestling shoes. I like wrestling shoes for a number of reasons. One of those reasons is that it's largely flat on the bottom. There's a little bit of grip on the front, underneath the ball of the foot, and then some underneath the heel. It's convenient. Where am I walking to now? I don't know. Well, if you look to the right, you'll notice my wife's dress. It's very nice. She made that. She entered into a contest into the 4-H fair last year. I think it was last year, 2019. And she lost. And the lady who won, guess what the big difference was? Well, the lady who won had a bunch of cats sewn into her dress. Apparently, if you want to win the 4-H contest on sewing, you need to have cats someplace featured in your dress. And my wife didn't. As you can see, it's some sort of a gown for a ball or banquet. I don't know. Okay, so this will be the end of my warm-up sets here. 135 is all I got on the bar now. 135 is most sissies can do 135. A lot of girls can even do 135 on a squat. I'm bound to get into some trouble for that. So here's 225, and this is really still a warm-up squat, or warm-up set. So, down to the bottom. I'm only gonna do 5, I think, if I remember right. Let's see, let's pause it right there. Oops, somebody sent me a text. Okay, so a lot of when you're doing the warm-ups, you really are trying to slow it down, just like let the blood flow into your legs, or whatever body part you're happen to be working out. It's not about the number of repetitions. It's more about the blood. So 275. So last time I did squats, this was it for me. I stopped here because of the side injury, and I was still feeling my side during this set here. But I didn't feel it enough to stop me, so I actually go up after this to 305. So I felt pretty good on that. I could have gotten 3 or 4 more sets out of, or repetitions out of that, but I didn't. And I moved up to 305 right here. So on the diet, I think prepping your food is important. I think eating your food every day is important. I think that monitoring your calories every day is important. I also think that weighing yourself every day is important, and then charting on a weekly basis the average of what you weigh for a week. Because what you'll find out is if you weigh yourself every day, you are going to weigh more some days during the week than you do on other days. Ooh, drop that down. Alright, so I felt like 315 was probably a bit of a stretch here, but because the goal is to raise my squats higher in weight, I did it anyways. So here's 315, and 315 is the 3 45-pound plates. Makes me happy that I can do it. And I only stopped at 2 because I felt like I might hurt my side. My side was starting to hurt a little more. And so that was the end of my squats. So time to move over to my next exercise in my workout, which is barbell hack squats. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to work, but where I feel it the most is in the very tops of my quads and maybe in my lower abs a little bit. Again, I'm only doing 135. I'm just trying to have good form. The only exercise during this workout that I care about is my squats. So that's really where I'm trying to push that progression. Here, I'd really be only working on my number of repetitions, and then maybe eventually I put up my weight. When I get hurt, I actually was doing Romanian deadlifts, and it was 185. I don't know why it got hurt, because I've done a lot more weight than that in the past, but it did hurt so much that I ended up going to the doctor. So Anyways, so these are just auxiliary lifts, in addition to my power workout, which would be the squats. So as I get more and more healed, I'll start doing heavier weight, and on everything. So, anyways, I gotta go home pretty soon. It's Friday, and we're having a holiday tradition tonight. It's gingerbread making or something like that. I'm not sure. It's not my tradition, it's my wife's tradition. But that's okay. None of the traditions are my traditions. I just kind of go where my wife tells me to go, which is the way it probably should be. That's probably why there are traditions in the first place. I mean, what man would, living by himself, would go out to the woods and chop down a Christmas tree? I mean, nobody. Romanian deadlifts. So Romanian deadlifts, the difference between a Romanian deadlift and a stiff leg deadlift is the weight is not touching the floor. So I think that's about it. I can't think of another difference. It definitely works out your butt more than your hamstrings. The stiff-legged deadlift is more of a hamstring workout, and the Romanian deadlift is more of a butt workout. Yeah. So, and this was my workout yesterday, so we're always like one day behind. Tomorrow I will be, after I'm done watching my daughter, my wife will get back. She works as a manager of the food pantry in Walworth County, and after that I will be going to my house in Beloit and working on prepping some more rooms for the painting that I'm going to do, and also seeing if I can get the water to turn on. Last time I was out there, the water didn't turn on, and so I wasn't able to thin my paint. I'm using water-based latex paint. So the painter stopped working, so that kind of stunk. The rental properties are retirements, my wife and I's. My goal is to get 10, 15 of them, and get 10 or 15 houses paid off, and then I'll have the rents coming in to kind of fund our lifestyle. Hopefully it'll be pretty good. So I moved on now to the barbell, or to the calf raises, using a barbell. And these kind of stink, not for the calves, but more for the balance. So you're going up and down on your tiptoes, and you're holding this weight, and it kind of shifts a little bit on you. And what I find is that I can't hold myself up, but it's not because of the muscle breakdown, it's more because of the just balance. So the weights also were sliding off of the bars, so here I am just kind of pushing them towards the center. I didn't use any clips on this one. And then I thought, hey, maybe it will stick a little bit more straight if it was behind my body instead of in front of it. I gave that a shot. I would say it's slightly better, but you know what would be best? Having some sort of a machine, or some sort of maybe even some just leaning up against my squat rack, and just using the bar on the squat rack to kind of steady myself. I could lift a lot more weight. So I've tried using the hex bar, and I don't know if that really helps, that makes a big difference or anything. So I've thought about buying it. For about $200 I can get myself a seated calf raise, but And I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I don't feel like I'd have a lot of space. If you look around my workout areas, I don't really have that space where I could just have a good, consistent not squat rack, calf raise, seated calf raise machine. Maybe over where that bike is, because I never use a bike. I use the treadmill. Alright, so I get bold here. I think, well, maybe I got 315. Like I could do a couple more repetitions here. So I'll throw that back up on my back, get my hands where they're supposed to be. The reason I pull my hands in where they're supposed to be, they always go to the same spot. Draw the shoulder blades together, and, well, there I wimped out. I'm sorry, kids. Here is my workout. So this is a real girly workout. Usually I do 5 working sets. Here I did not do 5 working sets. I did 3 sets, and none of them were really impressive. I was glad to get 315 up. The other stuff is all auxiliary work, and you should do it. Thanks.